Okay, everyone, good evening. It is 10 after, almost 10 after 8. We will go an extra 10 minutes than we had planned from 8:30 to 8:40 just because we're signing on late, but we have a lot of work to do. So I'm just going to start by telling you we are working on our litigation and working on getting all those affidavits that you've sent in to us. In the meantime, for those of you in the New York area, you will probably be receiving emails or calls from me still from the next couple of days, as we are still trying to get you to boost up some more data in your own affidavits. So stay a look on, keep a lookout for either my call or for an email from us. Some of your documentation is missing some information, and we need to make sure that it does exist or it doesn't exist, and keep on moving. The volume is pretty heavy, as Michelle can tell you, as our team has been doing this like every single day and night, into the early morning, and it is a lot. So that will be progressing, and hopefully next week that moves into the next stage, and then we'll have more of an update for you probably end of next week or early the week after. Right. But I do want to keep telling you all to try to stay calm. We did, one of the things that we did was join forces with the RISE Delaware retirees, and we formed that national organization page, NOSOM, the National Organization to Save Original Medicare. And I did a little video to try to educate as to why we are doing that, is because we are all in this situation because of a national rule, it's a federal statute that was changed in 2000 that allowed for seamless transition into Medicare Advantage plans. Because of course you just want to be seamlessly transitioned into a plan that you don't want to be in. So we started a national campaign. You will click that email. We did post it, I think, yesterday or the night before. I just don't remember because all my days and nights are smushed together. But it is on the NOSOM page as well. You can watch the video. The link is also in the video. When you go to it, it's like our other Action Network emails. You can send it to wherever you live in the United States of America. It will go to your local elected officials, like your governor, your state senators, your state representatives. It will also go to your federal representatives. It will go to Javier Becerra. It will go to Chiquita LaSure, who is CMS, as well as the Secretary of Health, as well as the president and the vice president. So it should be hitting between 7 and 11 people at any given time whenever you click send, and we're asking you to send it on a daily basis if you can. Super, super easy. Sometimes it'll ask you to put in the subject, whatever the drop down offers you, should be anything health related, because we are trying to fight this on a local level, a state level, and a federal level, because of course we have nothing else to do, is to try to attack more things at once. So we have litigation and legislation and advocacy on every level. Let's see if someone has the link to the text of the law that allows for auto enrollment in the Medicare Advantage plans. Please send it to me. So Wendy Beck, this is totally easy. If while I'm doing this, I can link it to you and change screens, no problem. But it would really be easy to Google these words: Medicare advocacy, October 2021 issue brief. If you search those words, you will get the MedicareAdvocacy.org issue brief from October of 2021. It's like 5 pages long. It mentions us. And the actual statute is on page 3 in footnote 18. Crazy that I remember all that, but that's exactly where it is. And that is where you will find the statute. That was just after we filed our case, because we filed our case in September of 2021. And this a nonprofit organization of attorneys in Connecticut actually filed this brief in October, and it talked about how the seamless transition takes effect. It eliminates choices of plans, your choice as a retiree. It mentions our organization's fight. That was probably one of the biggest eye openers for us early in this game. And they actually follow us on Twitter too. So great to know that. Okay. George Roman. If we are forced into this will it cover my wife's life support My wife is on life support. You know, George, that's a really good question. I'm gonna say you need to call Aetna with that question and see what they say to you. I would need to know if your wife is in a facility. I'm going to assume yes. And I would like you to call Aetna. Actually, Michelle, aren't they still open? What time do they close? Is it 8 or 9?
9.
George, do me a favor, call that number like right now and then pop back on.
Right, they close at 9. So now Janice White says, I received my affidavit back saying thanks. Don't know if I should sign it and notarize. No, Janice, that's not what it said. Okay, I replied to your information on your affidavit. I pulled it and I said, thank you for filling out the affidavit. Once we are done, we will get back to you for further instructions. Thanks, Michelle. So that means I pulled it and all I did was reply to your email that had your affidavit on it. It's not that I sent it back to you. It's just a response because I am pulling over 100 affidavits or more trying to get through these. And again, like Marianne said, this is all we are doing. So again, we are backlogged and those that know I am busy, I have not even been able to get into the organization's email to even answer anybody's email. That's how busy we are.
And Janice, there's another point to this. So let me make this straight. If you are in New York State, you are going, once you get it returned to you in a final state, you can then in its final form, you can then review it and then go get it notarized. And that's when it's sent back to you.
Right, but Marianne, I have something that says, and I say, here is your finalized version.
No, I know that. I'm explaining the notarization process.
No, I know that, but I'm saying you will get further instructions. But
Yes.
She made it sound like it said, oh, I just said thank you and moved on our merry way.
No. We're holding your hand through this because there's a lot to get done. So in those who are not in New York State, though you're outside of the New York State area, we will be sending that back to you or sending information to you about the next process. Your affidavit will be notarized by someone calling you to schedule an appointment. So, and those are only for the out-of-state people because there's a whole separate process that has to be followed for that. So hang tight with that. That process will start to happen some point like next week.
Not right soon, actually, and there's a couple that probably will be called within the next couple of days.
Right.
So they should be getting a call shortly. What was I going to say?
Especially if you just told us that you were leaving, we tried to get those calls made.
Correct. And, like I said, we're trying, and I know we're backlogged and it's just been a crazy ride. It's been a crazy ride.
So let's see, what other questions do you have?
Go eat your food. Thank you. Hey.
Let's see, lots of thank yous. Well, you're welcome. Like I said, we're not going to leave you hanging. We're just trying to, Oh, my 8-ball, I'm going to have to get a new magic 8-ball, Ellen. That thing broke out of all the questions from the first lawsuit. I'm going to have to get a new one, or maybe a magic mirror.
So Olivia asks, where's the waiver documents OLR? So if you're looking for the document that would have waived your health benefits, that is up on the OLR website. And what we're going to ask you is to not do that yet. Be prepared that if you have to, you know what that process would look like. The application period time, what the process is for if you're going to need to get a Medigap. Can you get a Medigap? What's the cost of getting a Medigap plan? How long is the process for the application process? Like, these are all the questions that you have to find. And if you were also a family plan, remember too, if you are waiving your city health benefits, this affects them, you are waiving it for them too. So you're going to need to find out what all of that costs. When we file the litigation will be accompanied by a request for a restraining order. So it's going to take a little bit of time for us to get all of that in and then of course get the court to review it, and hopefully come back with a decision on it. So.
Let's see.
Thank you, Lainey.
Okay, Jeanette Grace, got my affidavit, printed it, had it notarized and mailed it to the attorneys. Okay. Will Emblem GHI Senior Care be available to us to purchase privately? I know somebody had said that, yes, if you go onto the GHI Emblem site, that there is something in there that gives you a choice and option, but somebody had said that I think only Plan A is available, that they're offering that, I believe.
Emblem, that's not entirely correct. Where did that come from?
Somebody had said that that was what was on their website for $190 something. Not,
Let me put that on my to-do list because I got an application from Emblem that has multiple plans on it. So I need to follow up with that. That just came in yesterday. So give us a little time on that, Mary, to see what they will offer. But my fear to, well, let me just look into that and we'll get back to you on that next week.
Right.
Janice says, every time I call council person, they say that they support us, but they need to see a bill. When will they get a copy of that bill? Janice, do you know how frustrating that question is? Because we had you all send them a pledge on a daily basis, like no tomorrow. And the text in the pledge is the text of the bill. So for them to say that they haven't seen the language of the bill, I'm sorry, is pure unadulterated bullshit. Because you sent them 1 million copies of the bill language. So I'm so sorry. That to me is just, they're blowing smoke up your butt, girl.
Avoidance. It's
Oh my
avoidance.
gosh.
Patrice Pond, maybe the city wants us to waive because it'll save them money.
Of course it will. It saves them double the money. Not only are they not paying for your Medigap, now they're not paying for your Medicare B reimbursement. And yeah. If we waived in June and restraining order comes through in July, no, you wouldn't need to rescind. It literally stops the entire procedure, Catherine, just like the last time. People had done that as well. They had filed an opt-out at the time because that was that was what was offered the last time. But then the restraining order came in and everything just stopped.
Okay, here we go. Barbara, okay. Wow, that's a long one. Okay, in the book. Okay, we're gonna stop right there. We're talking the Medicare and You book, Barbara, I'm assuming. Okay. It says federal law requires the city of New York to offer employees over 65 the same coverage under the same conditions as offered to employees under 65. The same stipulation applies also to dependents over 65 and those covered by Medicare through the special provisions of the Social Security Act for the disabled. In such cases, enrollment in the city health plan is automatic unless waived and Medicare becomes secondary coverage. Employees and their dependents covered by Medicare have identical benefits to those provided to employees. Okay. Wow.
Barbara, could you just email that? But I'm going to tell you that there's federal statute that permits them to do what they're doing, and that's why they're absolutely doing it. And of course, the union said yes. So there would be your answer on that one. But I'm going to say, send me what you're looking at in an email, and just note, because the affidavits are taking a priority, it may be a little while before we get to that, but we will look at it.
Right.
But the bill language is not the bill itself. Well, basically, Arlene, it actually is. The bill language is the bill. There's 2 sentences in it. That's it.
Right.
Sheila Singer, so very disappointed in the meeting with council. So Sheila, I have to tell you, the gentleman that started that meeting today started a Zoom with Councilman Vernikov's office, who is very supportive of us. So let's stop right there at that. She is supportive of us and what we are doing. The gentleman that started the bill did it on a free account rather than their paid account, and it was an accident. And so he didn't realize, because while he was running the in-person meeting in his office, we were supposed to be on, myself and one of the other leaders here were running the Zoom, but we didn't know that it was a free account, and it literally timed itself out after 40 minutes and logged us all off. And so once we realized that it happened that way, our liaison got us back on the call with his own Zoom account, and half the people came back. But unfortunately, not everyone looked at their emails and didn't realize that we right away, like within moments, resent out a link. So I'm sorry that you're disappointed. I mean, it was a mistake, and, you know, to err is human, but he did try. And we did get everybody, we did send everyone an invite to get back on, and they do support us, and those are all good things. So I think we need to be thankful where we can. So I'm sorry, but it was a mistake. When I call, they tell me there is no bill and it's up to the mayors and the union. So Kathleen, we keep repeating that that is not correct. And this is why we keep trying to educate you all that it's not up to the mayor and it's not up to the unions, and that the retirees are not subject to collective bargaining. This is a ruse that they keep repeating and hoping that this is yet another lie that will take off, because if they repeat it often enough, maybe they'll convince a whole bunch of people to keep repeating it like they did other council persons who are not doing their homework and repeating the same lie because they don't want to go in and look at actually why. And so if you say to them, you know, my mom used to always say to me, I should say, what was my first word? And my mother would say, why? And I said, why? And she says, yeah, why or because or how come? How come? So if the council person tells you that the law is illegal, you ask them why. And if they say, well, because they said so. Well, who's they? Well, what did they say? 20 question them to death like you would if you were 6. You know why? It doesn't exist. It's not in writing. The council to the council, the attorney to the city council, never put it in writing. Get it in writing. You're never going to get it in writing because they can't. If they're going to perpetuate a lie, it has to be verbal. It can't be written, because who would want to damage their
trouble? They get in trouble if it's in writing.
Who would want to put their entire career on the line for perpetuating a lie that the proposed bill that we made is illegal based on the Taylor law when retirees are not subject to the Taylor law?
There's another aspect to the Taylor law also, which is to prohibit strikes because it would be disruptive to the smooth operations of the city. We're retired, so we don't help the city operate like we did when we were employees. Retirees do not help the city day-to-day operations. And it's not just prohibiting strikes. The Taylor law prohibits anything that would mess up day-to-day operations, and that's not us at all.
So understand as well that you are not subject to collective bargaining, and your former unions can no longer represent you. As a union is given the right to collectively bargain or represent those in their units and collectively bargain that for them for wages, hours, and work conditions. You are not in a collective bargaining unit, and you do not have wages, hours, and work conditions. And that is actually the only ability a union has today, is to collectively bargain for those in their unit for wages, hours, and work conditions. Since you're not in their unit and you don't have wages, hours, and work conditions, they can't represent you.
I could collectively bargain my Post-its here.
Yeah.
That's about it.
John Blau, I think I just got on today's Friday night update. I have tried to call Julie Mennon's office and I give up. Yes, John, you are here again. That's two weeks in a row. I'm so proud of you. Yay, John. Yes, and you know, yet I wouldn't give up on Julie Menon. I think Julie's definitely not on our side, but you could remember her when you go to vote. Lainey, you're welcome. Everyone must look into Plan B. You must know what that looks like. It's just education and informing yourself. Denise Rickles, since Landers just received the Aetna contract today, does that change the timetable? We have to opt out or waive? No. the contract can be registered. That doesn't really mean much. We always knew he never really had much power. We've been educating his office as to what we believe are some of the inequities of that contract, in which he does have purview to determine that that contract should not be registered. But remember something, even if he refuses to register it, the mayor could register it all on his own. Which would look pretty ugly, especially if the reasons that the comptroller chooses not to register the contract are pretty substantial. I mean, could be arbitrary and capricious, and could also allow us further litigation against the city. So know that, and then there were also some confusion that retirees posted last couple of days, that they were calling the comptroller's office and they were taking a survey if you liked this plan or not. That was an error on the comptroller's side. They were actually doing a senior survey on something else, and they were asking you about this, and it had nothing to do with this. So that I also reported to them, and they understand that that was erroneous. So calling the comptroller does not anyone any good with that. They were not looking for a survey of whether or not you liked it or not. It doesn't matter how you like it. It actually doesn't even matter if the comptroller likes it or not. It just matters as if there were errors in the procurement process, problems, issues with the contract itself, funding, that kind of a thing. He really has very limited powers in what he's allowed. Even if he hated this contract and everything about it was perfect, he'd have no choice but to certify it. Susan Fox, we need dental insurance. Even on my DC-37 dental is kind of horrible.
You think?
I've been trying for 3 weeks to get a dentist appointment. None of the doctors I call that are on their list of, do you want to talk about directory doctors in the directory that say that they accept the plan, or that DC-37 puts out as accepting the plan? Don't accept the plan.
Oh, I know. That's why I pay
Same
extra for
shit.
Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Yeah, Marcia, it's not up to the mayor only. We all know that. I mean, the whole thing is just a game. They all it's like this is a hot potato and they just keep passing it. Or, they're like, not me, wasn't me. I don't need it, not mine. I didn't do it.
I took my wasn't me sign inside.
Yeah.
Mine's inside, I know. And ultimately, I will work against her in the election to get her out. She and her staff are useless. And I think you'd have a lot of company getting Menon out of office. I think you should run, Ann.
Yeah, we'll vote. Well, I'll come down there and vote for you.
Just to clarify, you said if we waive our healthcare benefits in mid-June and a TRO happens after that, like in July, our waiver will not be processed. We would not have to do anything. It is our belief, yes, we actually asked this question to the attorneys. And of course, we'd have to wait to what the judge says. But like the last time, the restraining order stopped everything in its tracks. So there's no reason why this would not be the same. Lori Levy Soren, I called them out on that Taylor law bullshit. I'm very proud of you for doing that, because the more that you keep telling them that it's not true, and we'll come out with amendment. I mean, I know a couple of you were asking, you were breaking shops today that you wanted it in an email, but understand something. We put out a targeted strategy list on a daily, almost weekly basis. And if we don't put out an email on Monday, on Tuesday, do the same thing that you did on Monday. But we purposely didn't have you do an email today, and that email will be coming. And it probably will be coming sometime next week. But right now is not the time. And I know most of you don't understand that, but when this is all over, we'll be able to explain why. I just can't do that right now.
Right. So again, be patient. Again, there's a reason for everything, as I always say.
Yes. And the other thing is start penciling in your cameras, Oh,
Cameras. Wow. Okay. Pencil in
so
camera.
Calendars.
Pencil in your calendar. Thursday,
The
May
25th.
25th.
Right. May.
Thursday, May 25th. I've been feeling kind of lonely and I'm thinking about getting together. Are you guys feeling a little lonely?
Yeah, I'm feeling a little lonely. I need some personal interaction.
We need some human contact.
Right.
So put it on your calendar. We'll update you next week. And the other thing I want to say too, this is off the subject of that, but when you will start to see that we're scheduling some meetings with you with city council persons, and I'm going to make this crystal clear, and I'm not even going to be nice about it. City council persons are supposed to meet with their constituents. If you are invited to a call with us and we pull you in on that call or email you to be on that call and you show up to that call, be pleasant, be polite, and be proper. If you are rude, whether it's in an email or in a Zoom call, while you are on that call with us, with a city council person, not only will you be muted immediately, you will also be tossed out of that call. And we're not going to tolerate that. It has been a struggle to get council members to work with us and make the time to listen. And if they're taking an hour or an hour and a half out of their day to sit with us, to go over and listen to each and every one of your concerns like they are supposed to, you need to be respectful. If we see that in an email or on a live Zoom, you will not be on that thread and you will not be on that Zoom for very long. So I need to make that clear. This organization has always said to you, be polite, be professional. We say it all the time. There's a reason. And that's what we're going to stick with. That's who we are. And if we're asking for their help, we don't threaten them and we're not rude. So I'm just going to leave it there. Let that resonate. Donnie Sticks Mangieri. Thank God for this growing group and our very own retiree angels. Happy Mother's Day to you, great moms. Well, thank you, Donnie.
Thank you.
John, however, they can continue telling lies. Yes, of course, because to them, lies don't hurt, but we're going to keep educating them. I have to tell you, Michelle and I and Carol have been very proud of you guys because
Yes, I was just going to say that. Beat me to it.
we have been listening to you guys on some of these Zoom calls, even with Aetna, and you are giving them a run for their money. And that's because you've been educated as to exactly these things that not even they know or expect. So this is pretty fantastic. So kudos to you guys, because that is amazing.
Yeah, we love you for that. You guys help us out. You guys are our feet on the ground and in these Zoom calls, and love it, love it, love it.
So Rita Hohauser says drug coverage will be extremely costly. Most Part D plans reviewed have over $500 in deductibles. We had no deductible with Emblem Part D. However, though, you also need to remember something. The Part D plans also have lower premiums. In some cases, $6 to like $80 a month. So you might have a deductible, but you also have no premium. And you only have the deductible if you're using the drug, you're using the plan. If you have a high premium, which you have now, look at it. You were paying $150 a year ago. Today you're paying $125. The plans on the marketplace run anywhere between $6 and $79.
Right.
So it tells you right there, they're charging more money than they should. So you would be saving money. Faye Aronson. Yes, Faye, I saw that I got a message from you, but right now I have 3,000 emails. I have 85 text messages and 142 messenger messages. There is absolutely no way a human being is going to get through all of this in like one day. So give me time. Trust me, I will get to you.
Right.
I have never had this many text messages in my entire life.
And believe me, it is killing me that I can't get into the org address. Okay, it is killing me.
I know, this is crazy. Janet Coburn, if I were to waive my city health benefits and apply for an outside Medigap plan in California in June, perhaps paying a premium in advance of September 1, and the injunction is not put in place until July, would the injunction put a stop to the outside Medigap plan going? No, absolutely not. If you put that into place, that is still in place. The only thing that it stops is what's happening at the city. This is why we keep telling you, you have to find out all of these questions. What is the process for the application? How long is the application process? If you want to walk that back, let's say we win our litigation, you've already opted out, waived your city benefits and went into an outside plan, what is the ability for you to get out of that, and what does that cost? That's still homework for you.
So here's one. I love it because we get the same answer with Aetna. So Gina says, if you call Aetna, they said that this new plan is a premium plan and there is no need for a secondary plan.
I want that on tape.
Gina, this is you can't have.
It is an Aetna Medicare Advantage. You are not allowed to have a supplemental plan when you're on a Medicare Advantage plan.
Even though they tell you that this is the Medicare plan and this, you don't need a supplement plan. Listen, they tell
That's
you all
crazy.
sorts of nonsense.
Jeanette Grace, what's going on with Justin Brannon? He's my councilman. I have supported him for years. He is no longer acknowledging my post nor responds to me in Messenger. Oh, I'm so shocked. Jeanette, I am trying to schedule a meeting with Ari Kagan. I believe Ari is taking over that district, or the districts were combined. And if you are not on that email, please send me a message in Messenger or an email. In the subject line, put add me to the Councilman Kagan meeting, and I will make sure you get included into that meeting. But put that in the subject or I will never find it. So Ellen says, for those in New York State, the state office that offers free counseling services to retirees is HICAP. And the phone number there is 800-701-0501. And if you don't get through to a live person, just leave a voicemail and they will get back to you in a few days. Equally, if you just search your state SHIP, SHIP, State Health Insurance Program, they also do a very similar service as well. You just need to search it.
And I'm also gonna reach out to another former EMS, actually Lisa Walker. She gave me a site that would help, you know, when it comes down to this, of people to navigate to help find insurance Medigap plans. It's like easy, you know, like all over. And she had sent it to me. I gotta find it.
Yeah. Elizabeth Krizak, how can we look into a plan B for someone who's not eligible for Medicare and deemed disabled by the city union? So if you're not eligible for Medicare, but your city agency determines you to be disabled, then this doesn't really affect you yet. You would still be, if you are not on Medicare, this does not affect you yet. But if you are still disabled, like you can have a disability retirement, but not be on Medicare. This doesn't affect you. You would still be on your city health plan, your regular GHI CBP.
Right.
Gerald, we already did that and still they're not budging, which is why they're not putting it in writing. Trust me.
Right.
Michelle, what happens if they give us the TRO, but say that people can still join the map? If we allow ourselves to be switched, can we have back what we have? Michelle, I'm just going to keep saying, we need to wait to see what happens. The last time they said the same thing, you could still join the Medicare Advantage plan. They just couldn't charge us for the plans that we had on the table.
Right.
And that would have to be a provision that we can get that back. And that would have to be something that the judge would have to say. Yes, Mary Ann Foster Lyons, possibly. We're just saying we're lonely and we might want to see you.
Wait.
I think that's about.
Oh, what's happening with option C? That was the last question.
That is a joke, right?
No, that was somebody's question. I know. Yeah, option C is gone. was thrown in the Hudson River, eaten by some large alligator that was flushed down the toilet a long time ago. Living in the sewer. Sorry. Yeah, yeah, no.
Pizza rat got it.
There you go.
Don't forget to always price your drugs through Mark Cuban's Cost Plus program. Thank you, Karen. I don't know. So that's it. I'm gonna wrap that up.
The city would cover him.
I was
on-
included in the email to Ari Kagan and Justin Brennan. Okay, so that's perfect. Justin was ignoring us too. He hasn't emailed me back. He was supposed to. He even asked me for my phone number. I texted him. He gave him my phone number, but he didn't call me. He didn't call. And I even said to him, the last time you called me from your cell phone, I saved your cell phone because you were important to me. Save my number this time. But I'm free anytime you are. Never heard crickets. I heard nothing. So
No, see, you did hear something. Crickets.
crickets.
See, you heard crickets.
I heard crickets. Yeah. So I heard as my grandfather said, I heard ungats.
Dots.
Ungats. I got ungats. I heard ungats. Yeah, no. Hasn't called me back. But instantaneously, Councilman Kagan would love to meet with all of you. So just make sure you follow that one. Benet Weitzman, I'm sending you a hug. Actually,
Yes.
Benet, if you are up to being well, let me ask you a question. You messaged me in Messenger. Do you want me to write your affidavit when I get off this call, or are you free tomorrow? Because if they're putting you through treatment tomorrow, and then if you want and you're up and you're awake, I'll stay up and do it with you tonight. So message me that answer in the Messenger. So as soon as I'm done here, I'll go look.
I'm gonna just mention, as always, we need funds. We've got bills to pay.
Lawyers,
Lawyers,
accountants.
it's crunch time because there's a lot of costs involved with getting the litigation ready. It's, costing money, and we need money.
Need money. We always need money.
No. I know these A, B, C, D alphabetical plans. I know it's crazy. Like I
Go
said,
up onto Medicare.gov.
right, go to Medicare.gov, they'll explain everything, and then like I said, I'm gonna go back, because I know Lisa gave me a site that makes it pretty simple, and you can compare everything, you can type in what you need, and blah, blah, blah. I know she gave me something that's very similar, because she deals with insurance companies all the time. What was I gonna say? Again, it's killing me, because we're just doing affidavits this week. This should be starting to dwindle down. We should have a end date shortly on the affidavits, because we will be filing shortly, there will be in the next stage soon. So then we all can get back to other stuff and get back to
Like work.
yeah, like resuming back to our somewhat normal operations, day-to-day operations. But right now we had to halt that to stand still. So that's why I have not been, I go in there quick, I look for stuff, and then I got to get out. So again, apologies for that. I want to thank
with
moderators.
the Medicare site, when you look at it and you see all the different letters of Medigap plans that are there, and it kind of tells you something, keep in mind that if you're looking for your what if the shit hits the fan in a few weeks, if you have a low premium, you have a high deductible, or vice versa. It's like a seesaw. You're not going to get a low premium and a low deductible. You have to figure out which is the best way for you to go.
Right.
So it's like a seesaw with the deductible and the premium.
Right. And like I said, I got to go back and look. So again, thank you to the moderators.
The moderators are fantastic.
right, you know, they've been
Test it.
trying to keep the page, you know, and answer questions and stuff like that because, you know, everything that's been going on. We will get to you.
Everyone
Happy
have a great
Mother's Day.
weekend.
Yes, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Okay.
And happy Mother's Day to all the fathers who are mothers out there.
They get their own day in a few weeks.
Well, there are single fathers that are mothers. There are fathers and mothers
All right, but then you got your fur mommies.
for
Right.
mamas.
Right, your fur mamas, okay?
So have a great weekend. And we'll put up an assignment, an email type of an assignment sometime this weekend. We'll send out the newsletter, keeping it simple. If you are a retired or an active teacher, we've been pushing that New York City educators petition for a healthcare referendum to try to get them to force their union to negotiate healthcare with them rather than sidestepping that process. So if you're one of those, you know, that link had been posted. I'll see if I can get Dan to post that, or I'll post that this weekend again. It is only for New York City, for UFT, DOE employees and retirees, not anybody else, because you have to substantiate who you are. You have to be in their bargaining unit. For everybody else, we'll send out your regular email this weekend. If you're not on our email list, you really should be. We send out like once, sometimes twice a week email. This one will include, you know, obviously updates. We'll put this video that you could share with your friends, the donation information as well, and anything else pertinent. And sometimes we'll include an advocacy campaign that you can do. Click your links. That way you could send them to your friends that are not on social media. Including some of our YouTube videos that we film. Some are just for humor and some are for action items or informational to help you pass along that. So
Right,
have a great weekend.
right, okay, and again, it's not that we're not passing along information, it's just been crazy. We are working on litigation, it's coming down the pike. So,
Soon.
yes, okay, so spread the word, we're working on it. Hey, remember, woosah.
There's a message about donations. The address is on the website, www.nycretirees.org. The address has not changed. It's been in place since February. Please go to our website, make sure you are copying it down correctly and you are copying down the right PO box. Those are all issues. Some people also, before we close, please remember to put the proper date and year. Please remember to sign your check, and please remember to make your check out to the organization. NYC Organization of Public Service Retirees. Do not make your check out to the accountant.
And if you're doing Zelle, it has to be the precise address, which is on the website.
Email, yep.
Leave
And
off
business.
the S. If you leave off the S.
No,
we're not gonna
hold
get it.
on,
Hold
No,
on
no.
a second.
hold on, no, with Zelle, okay, when they go to search under business,
Right.
the S, you're gonna start to type in, when you get to retiree, it's gonna pop up and you're gonna see us. The S doesn't fit because we have
Okay.
too many names we have too many letters in our name, right? But you'll see, it'll say New York City Organization of Retiree, you know. So then if you click yes, so you have to make us a contact, right? And then you can add us and then make the donation. So I know a lot of people are having Zelle issues and it does bounce back. As for the mailing list, I see Feja Levy is like, there is a link on our website page on how to sign up for it. Usually I answer all those in the org address. I just haven't been able to get in there and send
I
it.
just gave her the email address.
Oh, okay, awesome.
So everyone hang in there. We're going to get to
Yeah.
you eventually. It's just, this is a priority that Michelle and I are focusing on right now, that is, and Sue Ellen is taking up a lot of our time with going through this. Once we get these affidavits done, then we will go into the email box. So that's all I can say on that. Let's end this here before it gets to be 9 o'clock, because I know we all need rest.
I'm exhausted. I
So
know.
have a great weekend, everyone. Absolutely.
Night.
Take
Night.
this chance to make sure you mark your calendars for the 25th. And
I'd feel the love that
you'll
day.
love that day. Have a great weekend. Step away
right.
from your computer and your cell phones for a few hours, go for a walk, enjoy the day, and then we will see you on Monday.
Yes.
Ciao.